Hello guys, so today we will learn about creating context menu in React. So the library that we are going to use is React icons and style components. So React icon is basically used for adding icons in your project. Here is the site for React icons. Here you can find a lot of icons, and here is an example of how to import these icons. So whenever you click on these icons, uh, name of the icon will be copied, and then you can import it easily in your project. And the second library that we are going to use is styled components. And style components is basically used for adding styles in our component using JavaScript. It follows a tag function syntax, and it's more efficient than using a regular CSS file, and it can also help you avoid overlapping style due to same class name or same selectors. So we will start now, adding the dependencies. Now we will create a file menu dot js. Don't we get from here? I think I forgot to import styled components. Now context menu. Yeah. So this is the basic skeletal of our context menu, and now we will add our context menu here. There is nothing in context menu, just adding this for testing. Yeah. So now we know that our context menu component is working correctly. Now, before proceeding in any project, what I would recommend is resetting the CSS default values, because it's different for different browser. So the first thing that we want to reset is margin padding and box sizing. Now we will set the height of uh, our body to cover the whole screen. My body, 100%. Right. So body is covering 100% of height, adding this style to root as well. and have. Yes. Yeah. So it's working fine. Now we can proceed. So we have to declare two states, one for deciding whether to show context menu or not, and one for storing the coordinates of that context menu. So the first one is show context menu, giving false as default value. And now we will add a handler, co- context menu handler to capture right click. Menu handler. Here we can set the state of our show context menu, setting it to true, and setting our coordinates. These are the coordinates, and whenever I'll right click anywhere, we will see this coordinate changing. For example, if I click here, it's 13.7, 672 and 573, 138 and 5 and 2. And we are seeing this default context menu. We can disable it using e.prevent default. Working as expected till now. Now we will render this conditionally. Right click and rendering. Now what we can do is make an array of children that will pass to this context menu component, and there we can render these components. So making this children array, copy and paste, and we can pass it. Context menu item is an array, so we can use a map function to return an array of components here using map function. And because this context menu item is not changing frequently, we can use index as a key here, but usually it is not recommended to use index as key. We should always use some sort of IDs as a key in lists that are changing frequently. Copy and paste here. Now we will style this context menu container. And one of the benefits of style component is that you can use SAS-like syntax with power of JavaScript. So it becomes easy to style nested children's. And yeah, you can use calculation made by JavaScript, so that makes styling a lot easier. Dot context menu items. Avenues. Yeah, so we are ready with basic structure of our context menu. It's looking great till now. Now what we can do is we can add coordinates. Because it's position relative, we can easily position it using top and left attributes. So adding those in style. Now you can see that even though this context menu is open, I'm not able to close it by clicking anywhere else. So what we can do is, instead of passing one component, we can pass a fragment. and we can add an overlay here. Yeah. So we can see the overlay, but our context menu is behind this overlay. So we can improve this behavior using Z index. So adding a Z index in our overlay and our context menu. Looking good. So why we have added this overlay? Because whenever we will click outside this context menu, we will be clicking this overlay, and we can easily detect the click outside. So we'll make a handler to close this context menu. So now whenever we click outside our context menu, it will be closed. And this background color was just for making the understanding easy. We are good without this background color. And now we can add icons here. So perfect. Okay. Now we are seeing uh, icons here. We can add styles to improve this. Now it looks great. So this was our context menu using React. Thank you.